Of course not. They had slave names.
Exactly.
I mean, of course. And their names
and you
were
could
changed.
see the biggest probably slave masters were like Williams.
Of course.
And you could see, so it's the ruling elite. They have a big bloodline. That's why, like you're saying, it's not just a few people.
Right, and the bloodline continues for this order. Now, so the United States of America was literally designed. If you go by the true, this is why I'm very perplexed with it, because I am here fighting for the Constitution, here fighting for our rights that are being taken away. But if you really look at this whole thing, it's almost it's insidious to consider this, but consider this, that all of the freedom and liberties were given to us specifically for the purpose of taking them away. Now, that's really hard to believe. But they're trying to spread this bloodline, like you said. And the Founding Fathers created this country on the basis of a document that destroyed monarchies, which is what the New World Order was. In essence, they were creating the New World Order by creating the 1776 revolution. That was the New World Order.
And there was there's the aspects of where that, I believe the same thing you're saying right there.
No, but I don't think George Washington said, and Thomas Jefferson literally said, we're going to set this thing up to destroy itself. But Ben Franklin did say, I gave you a republic if you can keep it.
If you keep it. And
they knew what would probably ultimately happen. In fact, they themselves thought it would last 20, 30 years tops.
Well,
they did. On record, read this.
Since we're on this, I want to add a little
it's all
important thing
part of the
for viewers that maybe don't know some of this alternative information and things that have come out. Is it's a very good point. You say 20, 30 years, because you got the 1776 where
and then you had the Illuminati Revolution.
You got the 1812 war,
right?
Which was basically when they had a charter to the bankers, just like we have a charter with the Federal Reserve ending December 21st, 2012. Well, there was like a 30-year charter in America. And when the charter...
It's a 20-year charter.
Or 20 or 20 years.
The First Bank of the United States had a 20-year charter.
And then when it ran out...
President James Madison said, I will not renew the charter. Too bad, Rothschilds, go fuck yourselves. And he says, well, if you don't renew the charter, we're going to start the War of 1812, and which is what they did. And they hired the Hessians again, and others.
The French, the Indians, they were
French
giving
and Indians,
to fight.
To fight.
And this is what I want to say is the important thing is, now we were taught, or I was taught, and I think most people in America, you're taught that we won the War of 1812. The story is, if you talk to patriots and the people that, we're great America, it was basically the British came and they burnt down the White House. They were coming, and there was basically like 1,000 farmers and women with shotguns that held off the British Empire. Well, that's the lie. That's what they want us to believe.
That's the whitewash. It's not really actually. It's not completely. It's partially true, but not completely true. They obviously
they didn't hold them off with their shotguns.
Right.
What happened is when they were just about to just finish it all, they said, "Are you going to sign this new charter?" And they said yes, and this, and we were back again under the control.
Exactly.
And
they broke our backs, and they're doing it again. And they do it over and over again. But that's popular history. No, that did happen. But
we're told we won.
But exactly, that's true. But they did that. There were events with these women that were protecting, but obviously they didn't hold off the British forces. So you just have to use your own judgment for that. Why you think all of a sudden they became gentlemen and said, "We will not kill you"? Well, they don't care now. They'll just love bomb anywhere. But you have to understand that I don't know. This is speculation again, but there's no doubt that they had not foreseen as long as this was going, and as it was continuing. So they were pretty much amazed. But you mentioned the French Revolution, or I was about to. The French Revolution is where the Jacobinism came and the Illuminati came to America directly. That was the part where they really infiltrated the United States and started to really build up their bank of the First Bank of the United States. And all the other things that came, Rothschilds came after that. A lot of stuff to go over with that, but it's interesting to see that this was the idea of the Constitution that gives us so much liberty is now being you know, shredded and taken apart to take away the same liberties and freedoms that gave us all this prosperity. Because their experiment went way farther better than they expected. Because it was an experiment, ladies and gentlemen. The United States of America was an experiment.
Yeah, and I've learned that, again, why I like Lincoln's history so much. It really was Lincoln that turned America into the industrial power that it became. It's really from Lincoln and this whole new, he was the one who was the first Republican ever, was Lincoln. And this new way of system is really what turned America into the power. And again, America became the big power up until, again, you have the people, the bloodline and people from Britain constantly hammering away, trying to pass laws, paying off people. They just keep hammering away. And there's been good people throughout the times, like a Lincoln or a Kennedy, to try to stand up, or famous speakers, Malcolm, Martin, and everyone. But they just don't stop. They got their satanic bloodline that isn't going to stop, and we got to have our.
And their world government intention is the same. There was the Council of Vienna, the Congress of Vienna, excuse me. The Congress of Vienna was where the Rothschilds and the Royals started to really try to get like a grouping of well, at least regional, trying to have some sort of world government. It was, of course,
League of Nations, the first one.
Well, the League of Nations came, but the League of Nations was based upon the Congress of Vienna,
yeah,
which was 1787.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They call it the Congress of Vienna, the Treaty of Vienna. It was basically, again, just the idea of bringing in a one world government with you know, but again,
the UN before the UN.
There was a way before the first UN attempt, second UN attempt. Yes, again, at world government was. Hey, listen, this is what's crazy. I make war, and then I'm going to try to sell you on the fact that I want to start an organization to bring us all together to stop war.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that again. It's typical Orwellian shit. I start wars, make wars, kill, love killing. It is all that I do. I profit from it. I actually like it.
And depopulate.
And depopulate, that's another thing, the eugenics angle, which is, it's really all together. Again, the spider web, the bottomless spider web, bottomless pit of evil, the spider web that always meets in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All right, I'm the killer that loves to create war and hate. I want everybody to come together in unity and freedom and friendship, and we're going to stop all war through this organization. So buy that, and you're fine.
Yeah, and then they got all the newspapers and media to push that message of we're here to
for
no more war.
Do you know something? We're gonna
end war.
I actually on the break, I'm definitely gonna do this. I was astounded. I should actually take that. Do you know that I was reading in the paper, the Hartford Courant, only 2 days ago? There's a big article about the future in America are jobs overseas. I fucking kid you not. And it shows this well-dressed woman in a business suit, how she took a job in China and she's doing so well. So the best and brightest, ladies and gentlemen, are going to China, not here. And there's just going to be slaves left here and people that just toil in the service industry that's being designed as our economy. The military-industrial complex will continue its wrath and reign in the name of peace. And
you can work in Walmart.
And you can work in Walmart and McDonald's. Or if you're lucky enough to live in at least if you're lucky enough to live in North Dakota, because their economy is the only economy that's good. I mean, boy, there's going to be some population growth for people that don't mind negative 35 degrees, ladies and gentlemen, because they're given $15 an hour to work in a Walmart or $15 an hour to work in a McDonald's because of the growth in their economy for very many reasons, and it's not just based on the oil production that they're having in their state. They hold their state's rights, and nobody fucks with North Dakota. That's the truth.
Well, that's where it could be anywhere. If we
exactly.
had good people
instead of globalists.
You know, instead of Hillary Clinton showing up in New York and saying, "I'm a New Yorker," and passing laws to
from Arkansas, where her and her husband snorted cocaine off the governor's mansion, and they brought cocaine in, and Barry Seal was a regular visitor, and the cocaine flowed like fucking water, like in the 80s when he was the governor of Arkansas. That's right, Mena, Arkansas. Look it up. It's all truth. This is why it's Truth Talk News here. And this happened, in fact, the CIA was doing this. I mean, this is nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. Iran-Contra came through this whole thing. Now, where do you think the coke came in? Mena, Arkansas.
Air America.
No wonder Clinton has heart problems.
Oh yeah, all the
coke he was snorting.
Well, his brother got caught. I know his brother. I actually
with cocaine. So yeah, I know.
He was caught in stings and had the tapes where the brother's like, "Oh, this is good. I got to give some to my brother. He's got a nose like a vacuum."
Exactly.
That was his brother's words about Bill Clinton.
Correct, sir. Exactly. I was going to mention that. He's a vacuum cleaner. They call him the vacuum cleaner. Exactly.
Well, you can see in his eyes too what a mind-controlled zombie Bill Clinton is.
Yeah, there's actually a video of him being putting on. You can Google this mind-controlled Clinton.
And he's just like, oh my god,
dude, it's absolutely frightening. He might have been under MK Ultra mind control because Google this, ladies and gentlemen. Take the time, or I mean, I've never seen anybody. If the word isn't focused, see, being focused and deep in thought, it's hypnotic trance. Google Clinton in trance during while makeup being applied as president, because he's getting makeup put on his face and he's just like in a trance. And then they show him doing and he's just normal, doing his thing. Really freaky thing. But I don't know. I mean, again, there is so much stuff that's just very hard to believe, ladies and gentlemen. I know. I mean, I was just about to go into a different direction, and I'm going to stop. Okay? Because we got to take little pieces of this. How do you eat an elephant, everybody? You know? Big elephant, you eat it one bite at a time. So let's give us another bite. We were talking about the bloodlines. We managed to get all the way to this point in 26 minutes and 20 seconds of our broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We got tons of news, but fortunately we have a broadcast tomorrow from 3 to 5 as well here on informedradio.com. We're also live streaming. I'm going to give some great plugs out to all the good people that are making this show possible, like Pam Suggs at UnitedTruthSeekers.com, thank you, and Harry Link, Death to the New World Order, D2NWO.com. We're also streaming live right now there. We're also going worldwide on informedradio.com. So we got to get this information out, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you all to multiply this effort and share this information. Share the broadcast, share the information, make your own videos, start your own live stream accounts.
Call us up.
Call us up.
People call us.
Yeah, we always like to speak to you, and certainly, you know, a lot of times we're sort of preaching to the choir. Many of the listeners, of course, are you know, there to gain more information and to share this information. And we're trying to reach the people that don't know. So please give us a call, 772-905-3018. I think that'll get through to us. I know there's some changes going on. Hopefully the phone line will work out. If not, you can reach them. I'll give you my cell phone. That's going to be 860-806-1295. That's 860-806-1295. And we will continue the broadcast. All right, so... yes, it's just a strange thing that now the government is trying to take away the Constitution, all of these efforts to take away our rights. It's all
now. They've always been trying.
They've always been trying, really, ladies and gentlemen. But now it's like just out of control.
Everything they want.
They do. They're after the guns, and they're reporting that last month was the most guns sold, and the FBI is reporting there were millions of guns sold, because we know what's going on. There are people that are waking up and they're saying...
That was something, too.
It was Christmas.
They keep talking about this 8.5% unemployment and, oh, there was job growth. It was Christmas. Everybody spends money. That's what it's there for.
Right.
So the economy is always going to do good in December. Let's see what happens January, February, March.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there, ladies and gentlemen. They're saying, oh, the economy's good, jobs are going to be hiring.
That's what Christmas is there for.
You know, what it is they said, this is the truth of the numbers, we had 15,000 less unemployment requests last month. 15,000, down from 350,000, down 15,000. So it was 365,000. Down from 365,000 to 350,000.
Yeah, so they got to work for Black Friday.
That's immense growth, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you still have 350,000 applications that are just being put out. So don't buy the baloney. The numbers are really 20% unemployment is really the right number. Yeah. And in California, it's closer to 30%. I reported this on my earliest broadcasts. I actually should be talking about this more often. I did in the beginning, back when we started airing, which I think was the 28th of October, 2011. 2011. It was very much on my mind about all these things, and I keep dropping it. I don't know. Got to remember that unemployment is still a main issue. It's going to get
Yeah,
worse.
and it's the whole
and they're telling you that it's going to get, but it's not.
They lie with the numbers, and that's
Well, the numbers
that we'll
lie.
probably get into is, you know.
Why they ignore Ron Paul? I mean, like him or hate him. I mean, you know,
I
Jesus,
don't buy
it's
any of those. I don't buy those numbers.